Hi, everyone. I'm Rob Gabriele, managing editor and home security expert at safehome.org. Today, we're talking about child safety in and around the home. And we have the pleasure of speaking with Kristin Hood of GoodBuy Gear. Kristin is GoodBuy Gear's resident child safety expert, and she's a mother of two. Her main area of expertise is researching and recommending certified products to keep children safe. She's with us today to share some household safety tips and tricks that you should absolutely have top of mind. Hi, Kristin. Thanks so much for taking some time to talk with me today. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Tell us about your background in the child safety industry.
I'm a mother of two. I have been working at GoodBuy Gear, which is a baby and kid gear company, for the last 4 years. And I have baby-proofed countless homes, apartments, rental homes, vacation homes, you name it, I have baby-proofed them. So I've definitely I think I've used like every baby-proofing product on the market in the last 5 years. So I've really kind of done it all and seen it all. I traveled a lot with my kids and have moved a lot. So that's been good because it's given me the opportunity to have to try lots of products and baby proof lots of different environments.
Great. So what are some of the major categories of child threats or dangers in and around the home?
So there's two of the biggest ones are obviously the stairs. That's always the biggest concern. The cleaning supply cabinet is another big one, or just cabinets in general. And then also I think dog doors or like sliding doors or doors in general tend to be another big one. But I would say the number one threat is probably stairs, and right behind that is definitely cabinets that have cleaning products or just products that you don't want a baby to get into.
Stairs, right? I have a 1-year-old who would just love to walk down the stairs, but the problem is he doesn't walk yet. So what are some ways that parents can keep their little ones safe on or around the stairs?
So this is a very typical problem. Babies are always wanting to master the stairs. That's like one of the first things that they want to do. And so the things I always recommend, well, the first thing is to actually teach your child how to go down the stairs properly. And so the best way to do that is to teach them to go backwards, so on their tummy, to go down a little bit at a time, because you don't want to never teach them, because obviously they're going to have to learn and they're going to try to do it. So you want to just like talk to them and help teach them how to get down. But the other thing is obviously putting up gates. So I always recommend putting up a gate at the top of the stairs and at the bottom of the stairs. And although this can seem like a real pain, I always remind parents, this is just for a short time. It's not forever. Because I know some people just think, oh, it's just, I don't want to do this and I don't want to have to like drill something into the wall or put up a permanent gate. But honestly, it's such a short time. But it's so necessary. It's peace of mind. And you really don't want to have that, stairwell open for your baby to fall down. So there's tons of gates on the market, and you can find, honestly, nowadays they have so many different ones, and they have retractable ones. They have like the metal gates. They have ones that you can attach to the railing so you don't have to drill anything in. They have ones that like half can be drilled in, half can't. So it really just depends on what type of stairwell you have and what banister you have. But like I said, there's so many great companies on the market now that make it easy to work with any type of stairway. Another great option that I also recommend for people is if you have a unique stairwell, like in my house currently, we have a very odd stairway. And so you can actually put a baby, not just like a traditional gate, but you can put like, they're sort of like a play yard, and they can break open. And so you can put that around your stairwell. So you don't have to put a gate up, but at least there's like something there to protect. So that is definitely going to take up more space, but it's a good option if you're maybe renting and you don't want to permanently do anything to your house or apartment. Putting up a play yard just around the stairs so that your baby can't get to them easily is a great option.
So another question I had was letting toddlers out of the room to kind of roam the house on their own, whether it be in the morning or at night. I know it's probably not advised, but it's also not advised to lock your child in their room. So what can parents do about that?
Another thing is, even when they're really young, teaching a child to, like, one thing that I use is an it's called an okay to wait clock, but it's a red light, green light clock. There's lots of different ones on the market, and they have little lights so that your baby knows when it's red, I need to stay in my room, and when it's green, I can get out. And so another thing I use is like a sticker chart to help them like be excited about staying in the room until mom and dad come get them. I also don't advise locking your child in the room. I know parents that have done it. Another option is I keep my kids in a crib until they're 4. A lot of people they get really excited about getting their kids into a big kid bed very early. And to be honest, that's typically not the best option. Even if your kid can get out of their crib, keeping them in a crib longer is probably the safest option, because if they want to get out, they have a barrier there and they're going to have to go over it. And a lot of the times they won't. And so it's about talking to them, and also making sure that you have gates at the top of the stairs, or locks, your doors are properly locked, or an alarm on. I know that my son, he was the type of child that would get out of his crib and just like roam at night, and it was very stressful. So we had to put up a really serious gate at the top of our stairs so that we knew that, like, okay, if he's out of his crib and out of his bed, at least he cannot leave the floor that we're on, and one of us would obviously probably wake up. And then also with the front door, we ended up having to put a deadbolt really high up on our door because he liked to unlock the door and just leave the house at his leisure. And so that was something that we had to do. And I know not a lot of kids do that, but I had one of those kids. And so we had to put a deadbolt really high up so he couldn't get to it, because he could unlock our front door at a young age. So those are the things I recommend, is just making sure you have a gate on whatever floor you're living on. So that, like, especially if you have stairs, and making sure that you keep them in a crib as long as possible. And then also the component of like teaching your kid to stay in the room and incentivizing them to stay in the room, even when they're really young. It takes a little while, but it's possible. You can definitely do it.
So in your expert opinion, what would you say are 3 must-have products for toddlers or early childhood?
So I think the 3 products I would recommend are magnet locks on all of your cabinets that you don't want your kids to get into. You can buy these really awesome, easy to install locks that can go on any cabinet or any door. And it's just a magnet, and that's how you unlock it. But it's really important to have those. I use those on all of like the drawers and the cabinets in my kitchen, where I either had like, like our kitchen knives or our cleaning products. And so I recommend the magnet. And the reason why I recommend those is because you don't have to drill anything. So you can use those no matter what, and they come off, like when you're done using them, they can just easily come right off, and you don't have to worry about like drilling into a cabinet. The other thing I recommend is getting a play yard. So a play yard is like a baby gate, basically, that can go inside or outside. It's so important to have that, and like a safe place for your baby to play, where like you don't have to worry about them and they can just freely play. So I would say a play yard with like a foam mat underneath is really helpful to have. And then obviously just gates at your stairs always, or a gate at your doorway. I know a lot of parents will put bigger gates like to block their doorways so that kids can't get to the door on their own. So I would definitely say gates, a play yard, and magnet locks for your cabinets.
And so as the child ages, let's say in the 6 to 10-year-old age range, what are some things that parents should be considering regarding home safety?
Yeah, so I think something to think about is obviously just talking to your kids about how to be safe at home and going through all of the different aspects of that. So as they get older, kids might want to be cooking more, or using appliances. And so really just like instead of just expecting that they know how to use these things, really talking to them, and also talking to them about keeping doors locked and also not leaving the house, and having a plan for what that looks like. If your kid is going to leave the house, make sure that you have something in place where they're telling you, just rules around that are really, really important. And then I know obviously home security systems are very helpful for nighttime hours. And so a lot of people will get those when their kids get older, because it will eliminate them being able to come and go as they please.
Can you recommend any forums or other industry sites that parents can go to further educate themselves on child safety around the home?
Yes. So there's a couple of websites that I recommend. There's one that's called safe.org. And so that's just like safekids.org. And then obviously GoodBuy Gear has a lot of great safety products that you can look at for a deep discount. So if you need gates or you need locks, we have all sorts of great safety options for you. And you could definitely check out goodbuygear.com.
There's so much ground we could cover, of course, on this topic, and we can't cover it all. So is there anything that you'd like to add before we close this up?
I think just one thing to add is like, do what's right for your home and make a plan with your partner on how you're going to baby proof, how you're going to keep things safe for your kid. I think the biggest thing when you have a toddler is just like, if I could tell parents anything, is just creating a safe place for your baby to play openly and freely, where you don't have to be worried about them, and just having that as a part of your home so that everyone has a little peace of mind and your baby can have fun playing without having to worry about getting hurt.
Well, that's all of our time today. Again, thanks so much, Kristin, for joining us, and all the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.